In November, HBCU students from 40 schools competed online for a chance to join the top 16 players here in Los Angeles, California, to compete for incredible prizes like Microsoft Surface tablets, Dream Seat gaming chairs, custom swag from Starter, team branded New Era hats, and RGX headphones, and more. But the most important prize of it all, the top 16 players are here in Los Angeles as guests of the NFL for an NFL experience-ship. A week of job shadowing, volunteering with Troy Vincent's foundation with local children in Long Beach. And if that's not enough, attending Super Bowl 56 between the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. Eric, Rodney, you guys have played this game long enough. You know what you need, what's at stake. Have fun and do not be in awe of the moment. Good luck to both of you guys. Back to you, Larry and Tiffany.
What is going on, good people? Larry Ridley here, CBS Sports Madden, NFL, NBA 2K League. Got my buddy here rolling with me. She is Tiffany Green, also ESPN Miss HBCU. Tiffany, we're at the Super Bowl.
Whoop, clap it up. What? Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Yeah, you know what? A stone's throw away from SoFi Stadium where the game will be played Sunday for Super Bowl 56. I'm a proud graduate of Florida A&M University, so I am delighted to be here for this HBCU Madden tournament.
Rams and Bengals right here at SoFi Stadium outside of Los Angeles in Inglewood. Who you got? You got Who Dey or you got Rams house?
I'm going with the Rams. Home team won last year. I say they do it again this year.
Road team, where the team wearing the white jerseys, have won 14 of the last 17. I've been there for a lot of those Patriots Super Bowls. Give me Rams house too.
Okay, see, easy,
Although
simple.
Brandon Bell,
Although
my guy,
it has
goes
to
mad
be
with me. He's a Bengals guy, so I'm sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Matthew Stafford. I'm a big fan of his, so I want to see him do it.
There you go. Man, all those years playing in Detroit, he deserves to win the Super Bowl. Putting up with all that in the Motor City. But it's good to be here on the Madden 22 HBCU Tournament Championship. Like I said, Larry Ridley here, Tiffany Green. We started with 16 players here that came here to Los Angeles. Actually, started with hundreds of players for the HBCUs, and all of them, Tiffany, got tickets to the Super Bowl, and the winner is going to get like $10,000. Let me tell you something, HBCU students. Next year, when this thing is available, there's no reason you shouldn't be signing up to play in this championship, right?
Woo! Sign me up. That's it.
That's too much. It's easy right there. But we're here, NFL West offices, like we said, SoFi Stadium right across the way here. Just excited to be here, man, with this championship. They had it last year. It was virtual, but now we are live in LA, baby.
This is wonderful because the experience that they get to gain to interface with NFL executives and obviously the royal treatment that they're getting here is top-notch. And I think this is one of those memories that you write down and say, all right, yeah, you remember when I went to the Super Bowl?
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Absolutely. Not bad. A couple Super Bowl tickets there. Not a couple, 16 of them for these 16 participants. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this Madden 22 HBCU Tournament Championship. Here are the rules here, Miss Green. All participants must be currently enrolled in an HBCU, Historical Black College or University. A PlayStation bracket winner competes against the Xbox bracket winner. So, a lot of opportunities on both platforms there.
Yeah, you got to have that preference and whatever you like. There was an opportunity for you to get in where you fit in. Competitive, we're going to add an extra minute than what we're normally used to seeing. So 6-minute quarters in this championship setting. And here are some of the parameters. Obviously, RPO plays are banned. So if you want to try to get your quarterback out and running and all that good stuff, you might have to think again. Got to strategize and do a little something different.
Well, one of the guys is playing with the Cardinals. So K1, Kyler Murray, a little RPO action. Gonna have to watch that there. You see some of this in the Madden Championship Series, the MCS, which EA runs. You'll see some of that, so don't have a problem with that. Competitors also will not have the ability to use custom playbooks. They're playing on regs, so we're all straight, and we're good here. We're all Gucci here in Inglewood. All right, let's take a look at the prizes because, Tiffany, it's all about the shmoney, right? Look at this, just a grab bag full of things here. $10,000, as the kids like to say, Tiffany, on HBCU campuses. That's a lot of shmoney there.
Bring me my money,
yes,
is what they say. Also on HBCU
meme,
campus. That's the great meme out of North Carolina, A&T, Sam Washington. Shout out for him for creating that. But you see the laundry list of prizes with the gaming chairs, Xbox controllers, and Xbox One Series as headsets. You name it. There is so much here for there to be a grab bag, if you will.
Yep, Zippo hand warmers as well, and Microsoft Surfaces, as you see here on our set here at the NFL West offices here in LA/Inglewood. Let's take a look at the bracket here and find out how we got down from, actually went from hundreds to 16 and now down to a final two. One man will walk out of here with $10,000. You go to the middle of that screen there, Rocco Tough. Representing Virginia Union University, that is Rodney Mckay, against that guy DJ, Eric Miner from Claflin University. So you got the Xbox champion, that guy DJ, against the I guess we can say PS5, PlayStation champion, Rocco Tough, Rodney Mckay from Virginia Union. So that's where we are with the bracket here. Look at all those things. Shout out to my guy, Freaky Nicky. I've covered him a lot, played in some HBCU tournaments last spring.
So you introduced some of those players, but we're going to key in on, obviously, the champions here. And you mentioned Rocco Tough. Let's tell you a little bit more about him. He hails from Pahokee, Florida, but he did his college tour at Virginia Union, played football for the Panthers, finished up last year, and he says, look, it's a blessing to be here. I would agree with him.
Sure.
Who wouldn't want this opportunity? This was all
degrees,
set up. This is nice. This is lovely. And he says, shout out to Muck City and Tough Gaming. We know about the chasing other rabbits down there in Pahokee in the muck.
He said he did not do that.
No.
You know, you were really fast. Like, Fred Taylor, a lot of those guys from Pahokee, if you could catch the jackrabbit, that's when you knew you had special speed and you could probably play in the National Football League. All right, let's take a look at the player profile, the bio for Eric Miner, a.k.a. That Guy DJ. I like to call him the HBCU Madden champ, right? Everything that he's entered, he's won. I've done probably 3 or 4 events that he's won in the last calendar year. He's the defending champ, won last year, played baseball at Claflin University there. Wants to defend his title, as we talked about, likes working out, coding on his own, time, or trying to be competitive in other games. Wants to give a huge shout out to God. That's good. That's a good young man. Yeah. Nice Christian young man. Like to see that. My family and of course his friends. Going to be a tough guy to beat. Playing with the Packers. This is the guy right here. He's got that big old target on his back.
Yeah, representing the small but mighty Claflin University located in Orangeburg, South Carolina. So we teed up these great players. Let's hear from them a little bit further.
My name is Eric Miner. I attend Claflin University, and I'm a senior computer science major and a cybersecurity minor. I'm playing Madden since about 7 years old, competitively since 2019.
From the shotgun, and this is caught.
I compete regularly as much as I can.
And he'll take this into the end zone.
I like playing against pretty much anybody that wants to play, just to get reps in. I try to get better every day.
That's complete to Austin.
The chess match, trying to figure out what your opponent's doing and trying to counter what they're doing, or trying to keep them on their toes, trying to just stay one step ahead. I chose an HBCU because I wanted to go somewhere where I felt like a family, I can build connections at my school. My professors know me, coaches know me, lunch ladies know me, so I wanted to feel welcome, like I'm at home. I got to meet plenty of great people. Yesterday, I got an interview with Michael Robinson, a former Seahawks player. Just building connections, getting this opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. It's once in a lifetime. I'm glad to be here.
My name is Rodney Mckay. I attend Virginia Union University. I'm currently a grad student, and my major is computer information systems. I've been playing Madden since I was a kid, but actually learning the concepts and the X and O of defense and offense, I started in 2015. I compete every day actually against my friends, people online. What I love about playing Madden is the different things you can do in playing online, franchises, ultimate team, and just the environment of it. I chose the HBCU because of the black culture. You feel at home, you're comfortable, and it's affordable. And I also play football, so I got a scholarship for playing football to go there. Actually, going to the Super Bowl is a great experience because it's hard to get to the Super Bowl because of the different prices and things like that. So this is a great opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, so everything is great. It's great to see all the great buildings and meet all the new people and actually communicate with them, network, and different things like that.
You know the name, Eddie George, bringing an impressive football pedigree. Just finished up his first season as head coach of the Tennessee State Tigers. He's joining us now. Coach, we appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks for having me. I know you guys are taking time out of your schedules, all the partying you guys are doing out in LA, talking about y'all working. I know how it goes out
Right.
there.
Something like that. A little business, little pleasure all mixed
Working
in
hard or
together.
hardly working? Which one is it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, Eddie, we'll dive right into the fact that you've played in a number of big games, but what advice would you give to these young men before they take on each other in this big championship?
Well, I'll tell you this: when I played in Super Bowl 34, after we beat Jacksonville for the third time that year in Jacksonville for the AFC Championship game, it was like a whirlwind. We literally got on the plane that night, was greeted by thousands of fans at the airport. Didn't have time to breathe, had to go home and pack because I had to leave the next day for Atlanta. So I didn't have a chance to enjoy the fruits of our labor in terms of winning the AFC Championship game. I had to refocus and get ready for a game that week in Atlanta. And we didn't have a chance to enjoy that time. So now that they have 2 weeks in between the game after the championship games, the guys can kind of relish and embrace and lay back in the win and take on the fact that, hey, I just realized the childhood dream of going to play in the Super Bowl and who was our opponent. And you have a chance to enjoy the media week, the travel to LA, have a chance to uh, let the steam out a little bit in terms of winning that AFC Championship with the NFC Championship game a little bit. So I would say enjoy every moment of it because you don't know if you're ever going to get back. I thought, based off the team that we had with the Titans, with Steve McNair, Javon Curse, and Samari Rolle, we were a young team. We weren't too old, not too long in the tooth, that I would get back there a couple more times. But that was my one and only time. And it was left with clearly that 1 yard short of the goal line with Kevin Dicey stretched out. And we played a couple AFC championship games after that, but never got back to the Super Bowl. So it's important for these guys to think about winning the Super Bowl, keep your focus, but embrace the moment, smell the roses, take in your teammates, because these teams, based off of free agency, will never be the same again.
That is true. Teams do change every single year. You look in that locker room and you're like, might not see this guy next year. Talking to Eddie George, head
Right.
coach of the Tennessee State University Tigers. Eddie, I played in Middle Tennessee, right down the road, Murfreesboro Mafia, baby.
Hey, we play y'all next year, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, Eddie, to
Yeah.
this day, the largest crowd ever at Middle Tennessee, which is a Division I school in Conference USA, was my senior year, 1998. I was in Nashville. I'm from Nashville. When we played
1998.
TSU. It was an 11-7 ball game. We won. That is still today the largest crowd ever. So what does that say about the power of HBCUs, that everyone came from Nashville and came down to Murfreesboro, and to this day we still have the largest crowd ever from that game in
Well,
1998?
we know we have a very passionate fan base here at Tennessee State University, especially when we play against rival schools, in-state schools, Jackson State, the Southern Heritage Classic, or Grambling State, or any other the historical black colleges. Those matchups are premium, and people are going to show up and show out. It's not a game; it's an event. Okay, it really is. I mean, it's wonderful to see the pageantry, all the festivities that go into it. You have the Divine Nine, you have step shows, you have so many festivities, concerts, forums, business forums, all of it. You have the alumni coming back, and that's what it's about. So, playing Middle Tennessee State, like to your point, is a wonderful opportunity for us, but for the fan base, it gives them a chance to stay in state and have a chance to go up against a rival. So we're anxious to see how that's going to play out this year. But that's the beauty of coaching at a HBCU, is that the energy is off the charts here.
All right, Eddie, so we're going to get into some of the X's and O's and the strategy behind these players today. So Eric Miner Jr., a.k.a. that guy, DJ, playing with the Green Bay Packers, gunslinger, for sure. So how can he capitalize on that matchup against Rodney to, try to air it out, let it go, and have a good time with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback?
Oh, you mean in terms of next year?
For Madden.
For our Madden.
For our two players.
Oh, for
playing
your Madden deal.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, I think, when you have Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he's a cheat code unto itself. Okay, so let's just be real. You can't go too wrong with that. I think just keeping it simple and not relying too much on the passing game. I'm a running back. I firmly believe in running the football, ball control, smash your man in the mouth type of football. That's how I'm built. I coach that way. I play that way. I also play the video game that way with that same kind of philosophy. But when Aaron is just an ultimate player. I think he's probably has to be rated at 99 or 98 on the game. So when you have him at the helm, I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Now he's going to have to mix up coverages. He's going to have to do some exotic blitzes. My thing is, defensively going against Aaron is make him march the ball down the field. Go to check downs. Don't give anything over the top. And once you get into the red zone or the green zone, begin to put some pressure on him, and try to get him off his mark. But he's so stinking good. I mean, why would how can they allow somebody to have Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? Give him. They should be playing with Jacksonville. Impress me with that. Jacksonville and the Jets.
The
Don't take these
Lions.
teams. That's ridiculous.
Now, Eddie, you're the head coach of an HBCU. Both of us went to PWIs. Just talk about just being in an HBCU, being in that family, and just the legacy and what it sort of represents and what it's like being a part of the HBCUs. My mom went to one. I went to a PWI, but I know about the legacy and everything that surrounds the HBCUs.
Yeah. Well, I went to a PWI as well. I went to Ohio State. That's right. But it had HBCU like qualities, certain aspects of it. Very, very proud to be an alumni of Ohio State. But a few of my cousins went to HBCUs. They went to Howard, FAMU. So I was always familiar with that brand. And to be a head coach at a historical black college is. Be the 22nd head coach of Tennessee State, rather, is quite an honor. I mean, John Merritt, L.C. Cole, Howard Gentry, all the great coaches before me who have laid the foundation is a wonderful thing. And let's not get it twisted. This university is no stranger to excellence on the football field or any sport for that matter. We have Hall of Famers in the NFL. We have Olympians. It's quite a list of NFL players and athletes that have come through here. So I'm here just to reestablish that excellence and hopefully go beyond that. And it's a wonderful opportunity. It's an honor and a privilege. This school is well known for so many different things, and I just hope that our profile can help raise the profile of the university, university wide. And that creating a wonderful experience for all our student athletes.
Yeah, you talk about Ed Too Tall Jones, Richard Dent, Tiger Bells. We all remember that.
Yeah,
fine university
Claude Humphrey.
Yeah, Claude Humphrey as well, who we lost this past year, but also producing the Tiger Bells and Wilma Rudolph, and obviously the home of Oprah Winfrey. So such a rich history and tradition. I'm going to key you back in. So first year as head coach of Tennessee State, you completed that. Now you get a chance to pump up both Rodney and Eric, our players in this championship for today. So give them the locker room speech to get them ready to go out on the sticks and get this thing going. All right, what you got for them, Coach?
Come on, Eddie. It's 1999 at Nissan Stadium. Let's go.
Game, warm up. Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, guys, it is what it is. Is this the championship round?
Or is
this is the championship. This is for all the marbles.
Listen, if I have to give a pregame speech for a championship game, then there's something wrong, something seriously wrong. But I will say this, guys. I mean, no matter what you're playing, if you are playing a video game, if you're playing the parking lot outside, if you're playing in between the white lines in SoFi Stadium for an NFL championship, you approach it with excellence in everything that you do. Leave nothing short. There's no tomorrow. Opportunities like this don't come often. So you've got to take advantage of every opportunity, every chance, and meet mediocrity where it stands, and go for the goal. go for the win. That's all I got.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach.
I'll do that.
We're ready.
That's all I got. Hey, I hate the fact that y'all did that to me, but that's all good, though.
Eddie,
That's all good.
I still
all
have
up.
a year of eligibility left. Put me in the slot, man. I can do damage. I'm telling you.
Now, you say that.
Yeah.
Now, somebody
45
like
though.
top of you.
Look,
The
the portal's where it's at now, right?
I know.
We all think that. I
know.
thought that until I got hit last year in practice.
Ooh,
Like, I
okay.
could get out here and play. And then one
Right.
of my players ran into me, hit me in the kneecap, and I couldn't walk straight for 2 weeks.
Wow.
I said, yeah, I don't need to be on nobody's football field but coaching right now.
That's true. That's true.
Heisman Trophy winner, NFL legend Eddie George, and head coach of Tennessee State University. Thanks so much for joining us, hyping us up, and getting us ready for this great Madden challenge.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Good luck next year, Coach.
Thank you.
I think of beauty, we got a chance to learn a little bit more about these players. Obviously, they are fully focused, man, as they're preparing for a big-time championship here. But shout out to both Rodney and Eric for the work they've done on their campuses. And I like those young men.
Sure, and they've gone through the gauntlet here. Played, a bunch of games. Like I said, we started out with, hundreds of players here that signed up and registered for this Madden 22 HBCU Tournament Championship, down to 2. And these are 2 very deserving young men here playing for a championship, Rodney Mckay, Eric Minor. So it'd be Virginia Union and Claflin here. Tiffany, who you got there? Eric Minor, the defending champ, and the upstart, Rocco Tuff, a.k.a. Rodney Mckay Jr. Who you got?
Well, what's so interesting is we got a chance to talk to these young men before today's competition, and they said they've met before.
They have.
Right?
Played
So
last year.
they played last year. So
We know who won that game.
We do know who won that game. So I think revenge is on the mind for Rodney. I'm picking what would be the upset here, and I'm going Rodney, Rocco Tuff from Virginia Union.
Okay, but you didn't pick the Bengals in the Super Bowl. You went with the.
You're right.
Okay,
Yeah,
the
well,
favorite.
No,
Okay.
No, we got to switch it up here.
Revenge
just got
is
to keep you on your toes, Larry. Got to keep
Okay,
you on your
revenge
toes.
is a dish best served, what, cold?
Cold.
See, it's not cold. It's cold on the East Coast where I'm at in New Jersey. We're out here in Hollywood, right? It's hot right here. It's hotter than Nevada out here in Los Angeles. Give me Eric Minor right there. I noticed that both of these guys have their hoods on. So let's go ahead and lock up, guys, and start this game. Tips rolling with the Cardinals and Rodney Mckay. I've got Eric Minor and Claflin University and the Packers. Let's get started here. Madden 22 HBCU Tournament Championship. Tiffany Green, you ready to roll? Let's go, baby.
I am ready to go, and these players are as well, as they are locking in and picking their plays, getting ready. We see the Cardinals in white, the Green Bay Packers in the green uniforms. So now on offense, you've got an idea of what you want to come out with for the Packers, and that guy, DJ, is lining up with Aaron Rodgers in the shotgun. Obviously, we know the type of arm that he has, and coming out with a penalty to open up the game, so back him up 5 yards.
Probably will decline that. Sometimes a lot of these guys will take penalties to sort of let the other guys sort of work through some, some things with their formations and things of that nature, just, making some adjustments. So you'll probably decline that, and we'll go ahead and start with a fresh start there. But you look at Eric Minor, he's the guy playing with the Packers. I think probably the top team in Madden. Cardinals not far behind. I know a lot of people like the Bucks, but, when the money's on the table, and it is right now, Tiffany Green, $10,000, you can't go wrong with Aaron Rodgers and those Packers.
Well, the thought process behind these players is the fact that, Eric loves the Falcons, chooses not to play with them, obviously doesn't feel like it gives them the best competitive advantage. He's going with the Packers here, and the Bucks the favorite of Rocco Tuff. So the carry on first down to Aaron Jones. Jones picks up a few, brings up 2nd and 5, and obviously strategy will come into play and how they will utilize this gunslinger in the pocket with Aaron Rodgers, but keeping the ball on the ground and picking up the first down and more, moving out just past the 40-yard line. So Aaron Jones being utilized early on in this game.
Oh, top 5 back in Madden. You look at it, got great speed, great durability, 5 yards, and it picks up another 15. Also move the sticks there for Eric Minor, who can do it through the air and on the ground. A really good offensive player here in Madden.
See an audible being called as Valdez-Scantling in motion goes out to the left side. A receiver picks it up, and it is complete. So we'll bring up about 2nd and 4 on this one. Moving the ball effectively thus far and getting his pace going is that guy, DJ.
Out to the flat to Lazard. Got a plethora of weapons here if you're Aaron Rodgers, you got Lazard. Of course, you got Davante Adams, who I think is the best receiver in all of Madden.
No
He's running
doubt.
that deep over, too. Got a receiver down the middle there. Oh, great defense there.
Went for Lazard, and it was broken up, and good coverage there in the secondary by the Cardinals. So now brings up 3rd and 4. The decision that, that guy DJ is going to make here. Is he going to toss it? We saw some effectiveness with Aaron Jones on the ground. Obviously, you want to keep moving the sticks here. So we'll see what Rocco Tuff comes up with to try to defend and put up a stop on 3rd down, and good hands along the front. And now brings up 4th down. Typically, do you see players often go for it on 4th and 4?
Green.
Yes.
This is competitive Madden. This is what you do. You sit a lot with the MCS. You sit a lot with my league, Compete Forever. These guys, if they're playing for money, you're going for it, because Madden, it's all about possessions. It's critical that you get those, and you're going to see that a lot here. Here we go, buckle up, 4th down and 4. Rodgers in the gun.
Surveying the field, taking his time, going back and gets Davante Adams coming across, so gets across midfield near the 40-yard line of the Cardinals, and a fresh set of downs working for the Packers.
Davante Adams for 19 yards. Saw that earlier, that over route that he had. That time was able to complete it there. Like I said, Davante Adams, best receiver in Madden right now.
No doubt, and one of the best ever in the game.
He's
well,
one
not
of the
ever
best
in the
in the
game, but
league,
one of the best in the
absolutely.
league going right now. So good selection. Play call here, 2nd and 7. And again, using a lot of motion. And Rodgers looking to his left side, finds Aaron Jones in the flat. And another 1st down right there. So the question is, how does Rocco Tuff slow down this attack on the opening drive for that guy DJ?
Yeah, you look at Eric Miner, likes to run a lot of trips tight there, I-form close. You'll see some of that as well. He wants to hand it off to Aaron Jones. Right now doing a good job mixing it up. Very versatile, like I talked about. And he's moving the ball downfield inside the red zone. And there he is, overshot his man, Aaron Jones, though.
What's so interesting about this is, and you'll hear some clapping and cheering in the background,
Got a
is
live
that
audience.
That's a live audience looking on and critiquing and watching to see how this will all unfold.
Absolutely, right now, 2nd down and 10. And look, if you are Rodney Mckay, you just want to get a stop. It's time to bow your neck. Oh, good job getting a hand on it on Davante Adams. So Aaron Rodgers is 3 for 7 right now, 36 yards. Look, if you can get a stop right here, Aaron Mckay, you take that. That is a win in Madden. That is a win in the NFL if you get a stop and hold him to a field goal.
On 3rd and 10, a critical 3rd and 10 on this opening drive, and Davante Adams, he can break you every time, and right there he's able to pick up the 1st down. Keep it going. Let's get some tempo moving here.
No huddle.
No huddle inside the 10, so a chance to strike first is that guy DJ. Run the ball along that left side, and Aaron Jones picks up a few 2nd and goal.
Good job there by Buda Baker filling there. You look at Rodney Mckay. Playing some weird defenses at times. Both will run 3-3-5, but sometimes they play a 2-4-5 odd, a 2-3-6 wheel. Different defenses there, but down here, field, sort of condensed. We'll see what he does.
Looking, surveying, and that one is incomplete. Very fortunate there, and you can see Eric Miner wanting that one. So now 3rd down, the decision on 3rd and goal.
The question becomes, if he's inside the 5, maybe the 2 or the 3, will he go forward on 4th down? You see a lot of that as well. Rodgers back to throw in the gun. Plenty of time. Surveys. Hits the receiver out the flat.
Nice little hit
Can't
stick
hold
there
on to
from
it.
Auburn. Can't hold on. And great defensive play bringing up 4th and goal. The question is, what do? You take the points, says that guy DJ. So on to attempt the field goal. It's up and it's through. 3 points on the board as the Packers lead 3-0 after that opening drive. So now the chance for Rocco Tuff to get on offense and respond after the kickoff. And
I'll tell you what, if you are Rodney Mckay Jr., Virginia Union University, stand up. You got to feel really good about the way that you're playing, the style that you're playing. You just held probably the best player in HBCU on the Madden circuit right now to 3 points. Here's the guy I've seen, that guy DJ, Eric Miner, beat people by 30, 40, 50 points routinely. And for him to hold to a field goal on that first possession, that is a huge start for Rodney Mckay Jr. So
sometimes you gotta let it breathe. And so he's Rocco Tuff is just kind of going through his motions, trying to make sure he's got that right play selection.
Setting
Eric
audibles
trying
and
to
things
set
of that
the
nature.
audible.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. You got to get into that groove, and like you talked about, taking that delay or that penalty early on just to get an idea of the opponent. Talk about some of the gamesmanship and the games within the game that you have to experience to kind of gauge how you're going to, go against your opponent.
Well, a lot of it is, you got the screens here to look at the plays and things of that nature. Look, these guys have played before, right? They played last year. Early on, we talked about these guys, and there was a little gamesmanship then. You saw Rodney Mckay. I don't remember who I played with. I don't remember what the score was. I don't remember who won. Right. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Those things, come on, for a trip to the Super Bowl and, some shmoney, thousands of dollars or a scholarship, you're going to remember everything about the opponent. So I took that at face value.
I like it. And the pass complete, going no huddle. Second and short now after Kyler Murray completed the pass to Edmonds. And Murray taking his time.
Absolutely.
Rocco Tuff serving everything, and he says,
no,
"Oh
sir.
no, I knew it all the way. I knew
sir.
it all the way."
You see him in the tricks though, and great job there. A little run commit by Eric Miner in the defense. Huge third down right here. He doesn't want to punt the ball, doesn't want to give it back, so might want to pick up some yardage here and not give that ball back to that guy, DJ Eric Miner.
Loss of 4, so Murray surveying, having to
rid of
scale
it.
the pressure.
Got it off just in time. Hey, great job by the animation there. I will say this, Tiffany Green. Sometimes Madden is good to you, and sometimes it's not. It was good to McKay Jr. right there, Rodney Mckay.
So now the decision to go for it here on 4th and 6 on their own 30-yard line.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Madden.
I know. I just have to state it because in a traditional sense, you would say, well, wait a minute.
Well,
Isn't that
analytics
what
tell
you do?
these guys to
That's
go
right.
for it more often, right?
Yep.
Even in
Indeed.
the real National Football League, absolutely. Got trips to the right there. Isabella, watch him on the backside. Young white receiver from UMass. Really good at Madden. A lot of these guys, they like to play with the fast guys in Madden. No, can't throw that. Whoa!
And picked off. So the first INT and turnover of the game. Packers get the ball back, and that guy DJ has a chance to add to his lead. Good defense there on that third down play.
Don't go there would be the 3 words I would have said there. That was double coverage. That was trouble to begin with, Tiff.
Not what you want. Rodgers has time.
Oh.
Rodgers finds Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams doing his thing inside or near the red zone. 5 of 11 and 89 yards thus far for Aaron Rodgers. And right now you can sense that guy DJ is feeling something as we come to the end of the first quarter. It's a 3-0 advantage for the young man out of Claflin University, located in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Eric Miner Jr. playing with the Packers, the reigning champion in this Madden Challenge. He's been all over the circuit, and you can see why. He pretty much dominated that first quarter and is looking to do much of the same with, again, another chance to get on the board. This time, he wants 6.
Absolutely. I had an opportunity there with Aaron Jones. He would have taken it straight up the middle, probably would have scored a touchdown, but took it a little bit to the left and came up a little short. 2nd down and 5. And I was going to say Corey Dillon. The other Dillon. Quads, got those big legs like Saquon, former Boston College running back. 3rd down and 3. Here we go, Tiff.
All right. Big decision time. I formation, hand off to Dillon again, and he stopped short of that first down marker. So big hold there. And now on 4th and 1.
I'm okay with this. You've got the lead. You showed on defense you can slow him down. Hands it off to Dillon. Gets the first down. Animation will give it to him. Barely got it. Moves the ball. Moves the sticks. 1st and goal here. Another crack at it. 4 downs inside the 2.
Another chance to strike. They continue to hand it off to
Touchdown.
28 Dillon, and it's in for the score.
2-yard fight right there. Gave it to Dillon on the inside there. Strong, powerful right there for the Packers. PAT, it's up, and as Cardi B would say, it's stuck. 10-0 there, Tiff, and that guy DJ, a little breathing room now. McKay's got to answer.
So how does he answer? What does he do? What are some of the strategies that you have seen used to try to get back into the game?
Well, you look at the Cardinals. Look, they've got a really good receiving core. You got Isabella. We talked about him, the young white receiver from UMass, very fast in Madden. You got DeAndre Hopkins. You got some other weapons as well, more as well. I would use James Conner. Maybe try to get the run game going here. Slow this thing down. You don't want to give that guy DJ too much of runway here and get too much of a lead where it's virtually impossible to come back. Especially in a game like Madden. You get up by 3 or 4 possessions, it's pretty much Katie bar the door.
Oh, he's got a man instead. He's brought down as Kyler Murray is sacked. So a loss.
It's a Darius Smith on the tackle. Big sack, loss of 9. He's stacking the line of scrimmage right now. If you can find DeAndre Hopkins, take advantage of this.
He says, I want you to beat me. Find a way to beat me as Moore is in motion.
Got time, got to get rid of it.
Has a man coming across, and that is Chase Edmonds.
Yes.
And Edmonds gets the completion, only a pickup of 3. So 3rd and long now for Rocco Tuff. And you see him, no sense of panic in his face just yet. There's still
there's a little
time,
anguish
but,
on that face. I don't know about you. I see it. 3rd down and 16. Needs to pick up some positive yards, or I would seriously consider punting the ball here. Doing a great job using with the user Scott there. Leaves up a lot of open space. Kyler takes off, going to be short. 4th and short. We'll go for it here. A good job by DJ using the user, the linebacker in the middle, to take away some of those routes.
That's how Kyler Murray is so tough. So he picked up 15 of the 16 yards, and then the pass is complete to Isabella. And you've been keying in on him, so you've utilized him along the left side. He's brought down, picks up the 1st down. So good sign as under 3 minutes to go in the 1st half.
Boy, he needed that. Jeff, you have no idea how huge that was. He could not go down 17-0. The good news is, if you are Rodney Mckay Jr., a.k.a. Rocco Tuff, you get the ball to start the 2nd half. Maybe you can do a little daily double here, man. Hit your head on the goalpost and get the ball to start the 2nd half, too.
Plenty of pressure. Murray has a man down the field.
In the bucket.
DeAndre Hopkins with the catch. Oh, how beautiful was that?
Boy, the Cardinals missed him down the stretch, but he just showed you right there why he is a top 5 receiver in the league, and in Madden, dropped it in the bucket to D-Hop, nuke the bomb.
Now at the 2-minute warning, inside the red zone.
Now you want to play the clock. Remember, Rodney Mckay Jr., you get the ball to start the 2nd half. Run off as much time as you can to see if you can get that daily double.
He's got Chase Edmonds to his right. And Edmonds is quickly greeted. Nice plug there up the middle. And good defensive stop.
Yes, absolutely. You look at it, great job there. A little run commit, brought some pressure. Scott with the tackle there, lost a couple of yards there. That guy, DJ, if you can hold him to a field goal, and for him. 2nd and 12 here, still in the trips there. Got Ertz and D-Hop over there on the right-hand side. Kyler, just 2-man rush.
Oh!
Got a receiver, there's a dot.
There it is. Boom, just like that. So the answer, and that was a much-needed answer. Now the question mark is, Larry, as they attempt the extra point.
Way too much.
Too much time
Minute
left on the clock. That's what I was going to say. Is a minute 25 too much for that guy, DJ, to try to poke one in before going into the half.
But I'll tell you what, a great job here by Rocco Tuff, a.k.a. Rodney Mckay Jr. No one's been this close to that guy, DJ, in a half so far. But look, we've played about 10, 11 minutes here, and it's a 3-point ball game. If you're Rodney Mckay Jr., you're in it, and you're in it to win it, so you still have an opportunity there. Great job here. We'll see how these last 23 plays out. If you can hold them to a field goal or maybe get off the field with no points, that's a great job. If you are that guy, DJ, you want to put up another 7 on the board.
That defense has to stand up for Rocco Tuff to try to stay close in this one. Again, not trying to allow another touchdown before going into the locker room for halftime.
I like that run there by that guy, DJ Aaron Jones, now 6 carries, 40 yards, taking off some clock because he wants to score and not leave any time left for that guy, DJ, for Rodney Mckay, knowing that Rocco Tuff from Virginia Union, he gets the ball to start the 2nd half.
So another completion, another 1st down. Marching down the field, 35 seconds to go in the quarter. Rodgers, as Devontae Adams shakes the defender, stays on his feet, and again, got to move quickly. 3 timeouts for the Cardinals, just 2 for the Packers, and so the Packers are going to look to utilize some of that sideline, try to get out of bounds if they can. Of course, if they can get in field goal range, that would also be great. But you know Rodgers.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him wide open.
Guy, DJ
Great
wants to
there.
find
Breaks the
Devontae
tackle.
Adams. Oh, baby,
10-5.
that's going to hurt you. He's in.
House call. Oh, yes, sir. Pushing the paint. Devontae Adams, I saw it. I don't know if that was playmaker, but he put him out there into the corner route. Great job by that guy, DJ. Put 7 on the board, back to a 10-point bulge here with 20 seconds left. Heck of a job there by that guy, DJ. Absolutely.
Did you see the reaction from that guy, DJ,
Yes.
just then? He was just like, oh, yeah, baby, I got this. I got this.
We
I'm
saw
feeling
it
he's
when it was
sensing
coming.
Yeah. And it was the one guy that you had to pay attention to on the field. You have to find number 17 in Devontae Adams for the Packers. Now 18 seconds left. And so the idea for Rocco Tuff, again, he gets the ball going into the third quarter.
Well,
So
he's got
like a chance to take a shot.
Sure.
You know, he's got a couple of shots. He's got 18
full
seconds and a
compliments
full
of
complement of
timeout.
timeouts. Yeah.
Absolutely. So 18 seconds left. That's at least 3 or 4 plays if he really
But
gets
he's
it off
taking
right.
a lot of time ticking
He's
off the
trying to hit
clock. He's
Isabella.
trying to find his man. Instead, Kyler Murray is going to wisely go out of bounds as Rocco Tuff with 10 seconds remain, just short of the first down, but 10 seconds. Gotta think something deep, maybe some
Maybe 2
wheel
plays
routes,
here.
or maybe 2 plays. You think?
Yeah, maybe get a deep over. Maybe probably needs about 30 yards for a legitimate field goal. Maybe 25. 25 and be about a 57, 60-yard field goal. He can pick up about 25 yards. Second down and 2 though. Kyler Murray out to the flat. Isabella. Okay, takes off 6 seconds. Maybe he can do that again. Maybe he can pick up another 15 in like 5 seconds. Maybe kick a long field goal there. He needs about, give me 15 yards and maybe 12, and I've got a shot at the field goal. No, probably 15. That would be about 60, 62. Indoors there at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, down there in the A, by the way. The site of Super Bowl 53. I was down there for that. Patriots and Rams. Last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl. Too much time.
Oh! Did he get it down?
He did!
Zach Ertz.
With
No,
1
no,
second
that was
left.
Isabella again. Got down. 1 second.
Isabella.
Okay. Woo. Wait a minute. The magician, Kyler Murray, and now
Yes.
Prater on for
57.
woo.
Perfect.
Gotta be money. It's
up.
gonna be
I
close.
pushed
It's
it.
up.
Pushed it.
Oh!
Wow. That was probably a $10,000 kick right
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
Pushed it just wide right. 57 yards there by my Middle Tennessee math there. So we go into halftime with the score of 17-7, Tiff. And that guy, DJ, with the lead. But the good news for Rodney Mckay Jr., he does get the ball to start the second half, but probably needed that 3.
Entertaining first half, and I will say this, that if I'm Rocco Tuff, I've got to feel confident given the fact that he put himself in position to try to at least come within a touchdown. Obviously a 10-point separation between the two, but again, as you mentioned, he will get the ball first so he can strike an attack here to start this third quarter when we come back in just a little bit. But we've got so much more to talk about, so much to introduce you to, of course, as this has been great thus far. Larry, you having fun?
Yeah, I am. It's great to be here, right here, NFL West Studios, NFL Network, NFL offices here. Literally, we're like 100 feet from SoFi Stadium. We're here for the Madden 22 HBCU Tournament Championship. We'll have much more, but before we'll go ahead and toss it to interviews with NFL staff here from Carl Banks and others talking about HBCUs and what they mean. So we'll hear from them, and we'll come back with more of the second half of the Madden 22 HBCU Tournament after this quick timeout.
I've been playing Madden really my whole life. My big brother Kevin, he's been playing since he was a kid, and then when I got on this earth, he just passed his torch to me.
I've been playing Madden since probably about 6 years old. The first Madden I can remember is Madden 10, with Troy Polamalu and Larry Fitzgerald.
I've been playing Madden since Madden 06. I started off playing with my father and his friends. Then my brother got older, started playing against him.
The thing that keeps bringing me back to playing Madden is, especially if I'm playing competitively, I get like a sort of a adrenaline rush. I love the rush of just competing and using my strategies and seeing if they work.
Just being able to compete, with my friends. It's football. Who doesn't like football?
Favorite part about playing Madden is just the competitiveness, the adrenaline rush, and then it's football. I love football. I've been playing football since I was a kid.
I just like to strategize. I like to beat people one-on-one.
It's like the chess match of when you facing your opponent. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but it's all about getting better and adjusting.
I love competing. I'm very competitive. Just playing, I play football, so me just playing football in the game kind of just translated on.
I come back to Madden for the focus it forces on me. All the outside noise, the distractions, I don't have to worry about it because every single game's different. The X's, O's, what my opponent's doing, what I'm trying to do, it's always different. So I just have to focus every single time.
How it brings people together, actually, because there's a lot of people that you wouldn't think you would meet online. So that was really cool, and the competitiveness.
Playing against pretty much anybody that wants to play, just to get reps in. I try to get better every day.
What I love about playing Madden is the different things you can do in there, playing online, franchises, ultimate team.
I feel like I could be a little GM and make my own super team, so that's definitely one of the features I love playing in Madden. Just competing online with other people, I love getting better, so just playing against other people is pretty cool. I chose the Hbcu because it's like a family atmosphere. It's just a lot of good energy going around the environment, so it's most definitely a good decision.
I chose the Hbcu because I love the culture. You know, it's like you're around people that you know, and there's a lot of Hbcu pride with Hbcus.
I chose the Hbcu because of the diversity and culture. It's black people from all over the world you get to know. It's more like a family, and of course homecoming. That's the best part about going to HBCU.
I chose the HBCU because the culture, and I have a lot of friends and family that went to HBCUs before me. Like all my older cousins went to FAMU, and my brother went to FAMU. So, yeah. And then I seen like on social media how fun it is to go to the homecoming, the football games, the basketball games.
I chose the HBCU because connection with my black people, you know, the family environment, and when I stepped on A&T campus, the atmosphere, the love I got from the campus was just unmatched.
I chose HBCU for the relatability. When I walk to my classes, I see people that look like me. I can see people that understand the struggle I come from, the things we all face together, and the belief, like if they can do it, I can do it too. You know, it's not often you see people, young black men, that make it happen, and seeing it every single day, and the connections that they're able to make and I'm able to make with it is just amazing.
I feel like it was the best opportunity for me to grow as a person. And it was also a dream of my mom's to go to the school that I go to now, so just trying to live out her dream too.
I chose the HBCU because I wanted to have a family-like atmosphere, and I knew I was going to have students and staff that want to work as hard as me.
I chose the HBCU because all my life I've grown up around people that are kind of like me, as far as like how I look, and I want to be able to learn from other people that also look like me. There's a sort of a culture that's different from other people, and I love that about HBCU.
HBCUs provide a plethora of talent that is just really untapped. And that's from anything, like I said, either on the field or off the field. And so it's important for us to make sure that if we're going to be, what we always say is the mission of football operations, the greatest, most competitive sport in the world, that we are bringing to the table the greatest and most competitive talent in the world.
This definitely opens up a huge gateway from HBCU students. I feel like that they should go ahead and jump on this with the NFL trying to close the gap between the minority students.
For the next generation, opportunities like this, it means everything. They get to see somebody from little Dover, Delaware, second smallest state in the country, go all the way to Los Angeles just for playing Madden. You know, I'm able to build bridges with people, these connections, things, you know, I never thought possible myself, and then they get to see it. They can ask me about it, you know, it's possible.
This right here is just opening the door for like a lot of kids now. There's a lot of job opportunities out here, so don't just look into gaming, but you know, if gaming can get you this opportunity, go for it, and just don't give up.
You get to combine Madden and the networking. You get to meet people from all over that could possibly help you with a job in the future.
I was able to network with someone who works at Microsoft. It could be a potential job opportunity for me in my field, so I think it's a great opportunity as any student that's attending HBCU should jump on it.
You would get to meet a lot of nice, genuine people just looking for you to get better and for you to produce.
This opportunity will be big doors for Madden and other companies too now, because how this program is going to go so well, and it's going to lead other opportunities for other kids.
We just knocking down barriers and doors, and we just putting on for each other, and we just keep networking, and I can go back to my HBCU, put more people on, friends and family, and hopefully one day, you know, we could be running the country.
Opportunities like this for the next generation means that no matter what you're doing, always do what you love, and something good will come out of it. Never go against anything, and always be good to those who are good to you.
Talking to the students and how they're networking and they're expanding their horizons and their viewpoint of what you can actually do in the sports industry. We want to do more of that because that's the point. We want to make sure we're giving access and exposure to things that individuals can do within the sports industry beyond playing the game, which is totally fine, but just beyond playing the game. We really want to find tactical ways to really uplift that strategy of bringing student and student athletes from HBCUs. So we're just going to keep building. We're enhancing every single year. The Madden tournament last year was a virtual because of COVID. It was a virtual situation, and now 16 students get to go to the Super Bowl in Los Angeles.
Yeah, this is a dream come true because I was like, wow, I really go to the Super Bowl because Madden. I never used to play the game during the weekdays in high school. I was only playing the weekends. And now that I play anytime I want, and then I'm in LA for the Super Bowl off Madden.
So this experience is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime type experience. I've been enjoying it, the scenery, just give you that LA vibe you see on TV.
This experience right here, Madden, just by playing the game, you know, it brought me all the way out here to California.
It's been great. I got to meet plenty of great people. Yesterday, I got an interview with Michael Robinson, the former Seahawks player. Just building connections, getting this opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. It's once in a lifetime.
Playing Madden and getting to come to Super Bowl without spending my money, it's the experience of a lifetime.
Growing up, your parents always like, get off the game. You ain't gonna make no money playing the game, but playing the game got me to the Super Bowl, honestly. So I would never thought in a million years I'd be going to the Super Bowl at 20 years old.
It's real nice because this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You get to meet people in your field and other people's field. You get to network with them. You get to expand your job opportunities, what you're going to be doing in the next 5 to 10 years.
It's crazy to me, because for one, I'm a Chargers fan, so just being in LA is a bonus. And then off of Madden, something I've been competitive about. It's amazing. I'm able to build connections with people I never would have expected. I could be walking next to an NFL player or a CEO of a company, and you know, all of this just off of Madden is surreal.
It's a crazy feeling because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Norfolk State is a kind of a small HBCU, so it's really an opportunity for me and my university to be seen at the Super Bowl.
Definitely a dream come true from playing Madden to finding my way at the Super Bowl.
This is the best feeling ever. I remember when I originally played, I didn't know that I made it and that I had qualified. When I found out, that's one of the best feelings I felt in a long, long time. It's unexplainable, like, it's a great feeling.
10 years from now, hopefully, I will be retiring from the NFL, if it's in God's will, and just transitioning from the NFL to an NFL front office job. In 10 years, I expect to be working on computers at a place like Amazon, Microsoft, or even with military tech.
In 10 years, I expect to be an engineer for NASA.
In 10 years, I hope to be an ethical hacker or pen tester for the CIA, FBI, or maybe for the NFL.
I would like to be dealing with tech because technology is growing every day and there's a lot of opportunities in the technology field.
I'm about to go to law school, so I want to become a criminal defense attorney or I want to start working in sports law.
I'm hoping to be an athletic director or a league GM for any team. Hockey, basketball, NFL, anything.
I'm a software developer for Amazon and Microsoft. Also, I have a clothing line business that I want to keep going. I also want to open up a nonprofit organization for kids in the inner city in Washington, D.C., just to give back to my community and things like that.
In 10 years, I will be working for a sports organization.
10 years from now, I expect to be running my own business. Really, I just want to learn as much as I can about finance so I can run my own businesses. I see myself helping as many people as possible.
I expect a lot from myself. One being have my own business. My father does insurance with financial services. I plan to take that over and make it better, because just that family name means a lot to me. I want to keep that going. Maybe the gaming as well. I have my own gaming page. Hopefully that grows, SBC Gaming. It just, a lot of avenues I want to open and just continue to grow over the next 10 years.
Well, while we have this time, kind enough to join us, a two-time Super Bowl champion and Carl Banks. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate you being here.
Well, I appreciate being on this with you guys. And Tiffany, I have to tell you, I am a huge fan of your work, and I enjoy watching you on TV. Now that we have more HBCUs being publicized in regular cable, I get a chance to see you, and it's just a pleasure to watch your work. You do such a wonderful job.
Thank you so much. Sincerely appreciate it. My partner, Larry Ridley, along with me. And Carl, I want to know, you played at Michigan State, but you did get a chance to play alongside a Pro Football Hall of Famer and Harry Carson, who went to South Carolina State. So what were your experiences like with historically black colleges and universities? Was that your first time meeting someone from, or did you have family to attend?
No, I've had family. My family's from Arkansas, so University of Arkansas Pine Bluff was in throughout my family, and so coming out of high school, I grew up in Michigan, but coming out of high school, my American literature teacher wanted me to go to Alcorn State, and so I went to Alcorn for a visit. And a boy like me from up north wasn't quite ready.
To go on the reservation,
on the reservation in Mississippi.
Yeah. So that one kind of got eliminated, but I've been a huge fan and supporter of HBCUs for years. And I don't know if you guys know, but I do my starter brand. I've been a licensee for most of the HBCUs for the last 10 years. Corporately, we have a few things we're working on now with the NBA and HBCUs, the NFL and HBCUs. And then aside from that, we have our own programs that we're working with the United Negro College Fund to do specific internships and jobs with HBCU students. So we're well engulfed in it. I've been woven in the fabric of HBCU culture for the last 15 or 20 years with my businesses. So it's nothing new to me, and I love it. And I have a son who's a graduate of Delaware State. So I'm steeped in it. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So good stuff. Talking here to Carl Banks, two-time Super Bowl champ with the Giants, played in the NFL about a dozen years there. Carl, I live in New Jersey, North New Jersey. I hear you all the time on WFAN and, of course, on Giants games. You were just talking about HBCUs and your clothing line. Tell us a little bit more about that, about G3 and what that means and how that helped you. And what advice would you have for some of these young people as an entrepreneur as they go about growing up and becoming adults?
Well, the one thing about sports, it gives you a great opportunity to make contacts. And, I always say, if you're in college, if you're lucky enough, fortunate enough to play college sports, at that level, you start to have access to the world's Rolodex, right? Because with all the sponsorships, and even more so now with some of these young men and women, with the NILs and things of that nature, you can make contacts. And I say this is the time when you're 18, 19, 20 years old, just start to meet people. You don't really know what you want, but you can start to find out about different areas. And so for me, my goal coming out of Michigan State I was a communications major, and I thought I'd be working at an ad agency writing commercials, and I ended up being a broadcaster for many years. But fashion was always my passion, and I was able to create a collection of NFL leather coats was my first entree into it. And I started that process my second year with the New York Giants. The NFL gave me a big and tall license, and then it was followed by the NBA, hockey, and then baseball. And then 2 or 3 years later, I became a college licensee. So my company is G3 Sports by Carl Banks. But, my goal, I was one of the first athletes to endorse the starter brand. And for those who are not familiar with the heritage of the starter label, it was Nike before Nike on field. It represented everything in sport. And so I was one of their first spokespeople. And I said, when I grow up, I want to be just like David Beckham, and meaning I wanted to have a business that represented all sports, all leagues, all product categories. And about 7 years ago, I had the opportunity to get the license for the starter brand, and I reintroduced it into sport. And we're back rocking and rolling.
Yes, sir.
I love that. I think it's safe to say that both of us
Yes.
had our starter
Yes.
jackets, and likely everyone who's watching right now can likely say something very similar to that. I want to transition back to, again, HBCUs, and obviously you've talked about how you're connected to it, but the value at this point in time, we've seen a reawakening kind of happen. And I think you alluded to it earlier, but the value that you see placed on HBCUs right now.
Well, I think when we look at what is happening in society, right? For lack of a better term, the erasure of history and how America got to where it is, right? If we have traditional institutions and grade schools that will not allow students, especially Black students or students of color, to even understand the true history of this country, we need HBCUs are very necessary because they've always stood for our history and how we became a society. You know what I'm saying? And so those studies are very concentrated in HBCUs. And when we cannot have the ability to read up on our history at traditional schools, when we see more and more legislation that's put forth to eliminate history, I think it's important. I think HBCUs have become more and more important because of the awakening and the things that are continuously happening to erase the history so that people don't feel uncomfortable about, how we came to be. And I think those conversations need to be had for this young generation as we see how society is behaving, and we need to make sure that our young Black men and women, or people of color, men and women, understand what our history is about and why we should stand for certain things.
Carl, you were just talking about, HBCUs, and I want to look at it from, athletics. You and I both played in college. You at Michigan State, myself at Middle Tennessee. We both played football. You look at how these leagues are sort of structured, and you look at esports and how it's taken off. And, of course, these young men here, all 15 and 16 of them came here to L.A. to play here Madden and have a great championship and a great also experience here. What does it mean for esports and that sort of segment of the population there that, some 70 to 80% of college students play video games? How does that sort of translate going forward in the world of esports?
Well, I think esports has become very much a part of real sports. I mean, we often tease some of the kids online and says, this isn't Madden. You just can't swap out players when your player's not doing well. But what we are seeing is just the advanced analytics of esports has started to filter into some of the decision making in real life football, but it has also increased the fan base. I think the marriage of esports and the consumer who likes sports gives them more control, but it has created an entire new fan base because a lot of people maybe don't want to watch TV, but they want to play the game, or they play fantasy football and they can control the player that they have in their fantasy via esports. And there's so many other just non-football games in esports that has made it just such a cool thing. And, you know, obviously I've been having a lot of conversations with my kids on the whole metaverse, right? And people are going to exist in that. And I tease, I have my older son, when he was younger, he played a game called The Sims, right?
Yep.
And The Sims was like the old version of today's metaverse. And so we have these conversations on just how we've moved technologically into a space where we communicate through our games, our computers, or our experiences within those games.
Yeah, just another form of engagement, and you see it, these kids, man.
That's
how they sort of, and that's also how the NFL sort of engages with the youth. A lot of these kids, they identify with the NFL through Madden and through the video game. He's absolutely correct.
So since they're already underway and in competition, what do you say to the two finalists as they try to bring it on home and be the grand prize winner?
Get them pumped up, Carl. Come on now, get them pumped up.
If there is access to the mutts, you should pick Carl Banks because, I'm on that Madden Ultimate team and I can do some things for you. So if I can be your secret weapon, you need to use me. I hear I play safety really well in that game too.
Oh, nice.
I love it. Carl Banks, we sincerely appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to both of you as well.
All right, so that was an entertaining first half as we're back here in Los Angeles, Inglewood, right next to SoFi Stadium, the Madden 22 HBCU Tournament Championship here at NFL West, NFL Network, and NFL offices here in Los Angeles. It is so great to be in 85-degree weather.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I know you're used to that in Florida.
I'm used to it in Florida, so it's nothing to it. But you know what? These nice new jackets we got on, the champion will be crowned in this. It makes you want to do that shmoney dance to go along with that $10,000 that they're playing for. Yeah, fresh and clean. That's how you feel. You play good. You look good. All that goes together.
Yeah, these are nice, man. Thanks to the good folks at Starter who made these jackets. But yeah, it's got the HBCU Championship Madden 22 logo right here. So
Carl Banks hooked it up, didn't he?
Carl Banks, man,
He
of the
did
good
his
folks.
thing.
Starter, Carl Banks, G3 doing his thing as well. We talked to him. We saw him at halftime there. So ready to get started here in the second half. As you can see, somebody is 12 minutes away from getting this jacket. And we're going to don the jacket on him. Just like you would, some celebrities or anybody else, and drape it on them, man. Like,
give them that champion walk,
Right.
champion circle. That's kind of the vibe that we're getting here. And Eric Miner, who's on top, 17-7. That guy, DJ, as he goes by with the Green Bay Packers. But getting the ball first in the second half is Rocco Tuff, starting off in a 10-point deficit. Kyler Murray in the shotgun, and Rocco Tuff looking to close the gap here to start off this third quarter.
Time to lock up as we get started here from the NFL West offices here in Los Angeles, LA. Madden 22 HBCU Tournament Championship. Larry Ridley here, CBS Sports. Madden NFL NBA 2K League. Got Tiffany Green here, ESPN. Miss HBCU, and it is Rodney Mckay with the ball, and he's going the wrong way. He does get rid of it here. So right now, it is Eric Miner of the Packers from Claflin University up 17-7 over Rodney Mckay from Virginia Union. He has the ball down 10. Tiff?
2nd and 10, and I think it's important. You talked about trying to utilize James Carter in the backfield a little bit more in this second half. Obviously, Isabella was a big part of their offense for the Cardinals in the first half. Kyler Murray has time, has a man. DeAndre Hopkins, we saw him make a nice grab earlier in the game, and that moves the chains. And so now it's 1st and 10 from just about the 37-yard line, excuse me.
Great ball placement there to D-Hop, nuked the bomb there high and outside. If that ball was thrown a little behind him or actually on target, may have been a pick.
Looking. Murray does have time, elects to slide with the defender coming in his face, so that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Love that, by the way. Quarterbacks like to fumble in this game. The hit stick, things of that nature brought into play. Good job there by Rodney Mckay. Down 10, but on the move. Murray, plenty of time. Got to get rid of it. Has a man.
He's up another dangerous. That's the second pick of this ball game. It's
Crown a King.
Wait a minute. Come on. King coming through.
He's got space.
He can take it all the way. Got 1 minute to beat it.
He does.
Wait a minute. Pick
10-5.
Wheel. Whoop. Take it to the house. Whoop. Take it to the house. Yeah, okay. That was just a little flex of the muscles there. Second interception. This one taken back for a touchdown. And that very well could be a backbreaker. Making that separation now. It's 24-7.
Man, huge play there by
Kevin King.
Eric Miner. Crown a King. You heard me when he had the pick. I said you got to crown a king. Takes it all the way back. That is a house call, a pick six. And that just may have taken all the air out of the NFL West studios right there. He's in a huge hole, down 17. That could be the play that turns this thing around.
And this is one thing that Eric Miner has done to his opponents over these challenges is that he maybe allows them to stay in for a little bit, gives them a little hope. But then
a little hope.
He allows for some separation with big plays like that coming up in a major way. So Rocco Tuff back on the field, having to leave that in the rearview mirror, shake that off, and try to get something positive here on this next drive. But instead, in his face and going down.
Smith, his second sack of the ball game. Look, Rodney Mckay Jr. played football at Virginia Union. I don't know what position he played by the looks of him.
Running back. He played running back.
I was going to say running back or defensive back, and as a cornerback, you better have a short memory, Tiffany Green, when you get beat like that, and that's what we're hoping here for Rodney Mckay. It's that snowball effect. I know there's not any snow here except these snow-capped mountains out here in Los Angeles, but it could get rolling in the wrong way, Tiff.
Murray running, scrambling, and so he's got to get down, because ball security ever so important here when you're talking about, obviously, the hit stick option here and fumbling very much a part of this game. So 3rd and 3 now.
Speaking of get down, how about James Conner? There's a little, Arnold Schwarzenegger reference to Terminator there. James Conner, Sarah Conner. You got to give it to James Conner. Get down.
Get down.
Get down.
Get down.
I know it's not a tumor.
How appropriate. We're in the state of California, right? Yeah, the former governor. All right, let's do it. 3rd and 3, Rocco Tuff needing to try to keep this drive alive, keep it going.
Was gonna
Playoff, yeah. Play action and going for it. Oh, coming up to make the great tackle is Scott once again. Great Scott, Vernon Scott, coming up from his strong safety position. And now 4th and inches here. Yes, Rocco Tuff is going to go for it, down by a few scores.
He's got to.
Yes.
Well, Tiffany Green, I don't have to tell you, this is a huge play in this ball game here coming up. He's got to pick up this first down, or it is KT bar the door. Hide the women and children. There's nothing he's going to be able to do. Down by 3 scores and with the ball. Huge play right here. Madden 22 HBCU Tournament Championship on the line right here with 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. I'm calling it right now.
This is it. Puts Hopkins in motion.
Bringing
Murray surveys, has a man open, and it's complete, and that was crucial for them across midfield. And now say, okay, got a little bit more in him. Does Rocco Tuff have a little bit more in him? Rondale Moore.
You see that? The safe. Give me that money. I love the animations, how they mirror the National Football League. I love that there.
Well, look, celebration is a part of the game, right? Like, I don't care what you say. You got to come up with a little something to let them know. Now, it's just the first down. And look, they got a whole lot more to do. So focus on the goal at hand. Trying to knock off the defending champion out of Claflin University. That guy, DJ Eric Miner.
Little bullet pass there, a little inaccurate. Not a little.
A lot of
inaccurate there. But still, look, a couple of downs or at least 3 more downs here. 2nd 10. Good start here to the second half. I'm looking at the time. Still 7 minutes and like 37 seconds. He's going to have to get a stop. But regardless of any of that, Tiffany Green, he has to get a score. When I mean a score, he needs 7, not 3.
So again, and a dangerous continuing with a swarm of green jerseys around the receiver. Lucky to get away with not having any additional picks. So 3rd and 10. So again, you know they're working with 2 downs, so you don't have to get it all in this one play, but you want positive yardage moving forward.
Don't lose any yards. Great defense there by that guy, DJ. Don't go there. We talked about that. You don't throw in a double coverage and one of man's underneath them. Maybe throw that a little high there, but here's 3rd down and 10. About 10 seconds left on the play clock from around the 37. Crucial down right here, Tiff. K1, Kyler Murray in the gun.
Murray looking, being chased out. Now we know from his weak linebacker. Oh, another pick, but what did he stay in bounds? Did he stay in bounds? Yes!
Black!
Wow.
Oh, man. There's red and there's black. And that guy, DJ, is in the black right now. Up 17, $10,000, pretty much in his pocket. And we talked about it, Tiff. And these Madden challenges and championships, and I've done lots of them across the country, don't lose your mind. In the words of Yeezy, 12:45, about that time. He's up 3 scores. It's that simple. It's a game of possessions. He has the ball, Tiff.
And look, and what are you going to do? You're going to keep it on the ground, right? The wise thing to do is just try to milk the clock, keep it on the ground. You're up. He's like, let me just ride off into the sunset. Let me just kind of go cruising down Santa Monica Boulevard as I try to capture yet another title for
Did you
that
just say
guy.
Santa Monica? I was
that
there
guy,
Monday
DJ.
night on the pier. It was cold, too, that night.
Valdez Scantling with the reception and another 1st down. And look, from start to finish thus far, it's been all that guy, DJ. He just feels composed. He's ready. It feels like he knows his team and how to work these Packers better than anybody else on the sticks.
Stick skills, tremendous. As we put up our 4s here, we saw all of the HBCU students in our live audience here putting up the 4s. Started the 4th quarter here. That guy, DJ. Eric Miner, Claflin University, and the Packers up 17 over that guy on the right-hand side. From Virginia Union University, Rodney Mckay Jr., a.k.a. Rocco Tough sledding coming up here.
Tough sledding indeed, as Aaron Jones continuing to be the workhorse in this second half for that guy, DJ. And that's the beauty. What you talked about, Larry, is all those different HBCUs you mentioned. Claflin, Virginia Union, Fort Valley State represented, Albany State, Florida A&M,
Howard
in the building, Howard, you name it, they have been here. This was whittled down from hundreds who tried to participate and just over the outstretched hands of Devontae Adams for the incompletion. So now 4th and 3. And you know that guy, DJ's like, you know what, I'm just going to,
You take the points. Long field goal here, though, Tiff. We're looking at 59. It's up and right down Broadway.
Woo-wee! Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Y'all check out the leg of Mason Crosby, who made that thing happen.
A lot of people like to call him Mason Crossbar because he hit those field goals in the playoffs off the crossbar.
Man, why you got to bring him
Dallas? But, hey, they went in.
Kirk on the return. And so now at this point, you're playing for a bit of pride if you're Rocco Tough. I mean, down by 23 scores. Essentially, you're out of this game. You got 439 to work. It's not impossible.
Unlikely.
Highly unlikely.
Right.
In this case, with the way that guy DJ has played, I mean, he's forced a number of turnovers.
Well, you got to score. And the one thing about Madden, what I always tell people, onside kicks, it's just not a go. Mm-hmm. It's a hard thing to sort of accomplish and create onsides with the kicks. You just don't see it a lot. I'm just being very honest. You don't see that a lot in Madden. Hell, you don't see it a lot in the National Football League.
Right.
It's a low percentage thing, but we'll see here. First things first, you got to get into that painted end zone. You got to go in there where it says ATL before we have any opportunities for an onside kick. Kyler, no.
And again, going up this time. It's picked off.
Famous Amos. He was baited. Baited him.
Adrian Amos. And how many INTs is that on the game for that guy, DJ? It feels like just about every other drive.
2 or 3.
He's come up with a few interceptions. One was a pick 6, and Aaron Jones just steadying the way through and trying to, again, utilize clock, taking his time, full range of the play clock. And
chewing the clock. Chew clock is a heck of a feature on Madden.
the under 4, but more importantly, Aaron Jones picking up first downs.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Aaron Jones, we talked about it, a special back. The Packers, you're seeing just the offensive firepower that they have and possess. You got the MVP at quarterback. You got a top 5 running back. You got the top receiver. O-line is tremendous. There's a lot to like about the team from Titletown. Go, Pack, go. My guy, Amon Green, I know he's watching. Shout out to AG. My guy, Amon Green. I know he's happy right now.
That guy, DJ, continues to hurt the hearts of all those who enter these Madden challenges. And then this HBCU Madden challenge, he was king last year, and he is just under 2.5 minutes away from being crowned the king once again.
And speaking of crown and king, it was King that broke the back of the Cardinals and Virginia Union with that pick six, a long pick six. Must have been about 90 yards or so. Tiff going the other way, and that was the backbreaker in this ball game. Took it from a 10-point lead to about a 17-point lead, and that was the end of it there.
Now, from your experience, have you seen, I know it always comes down to player, but unofficially, more Xbox users being successful in Madden challenges or PlayStation?
Well, it's
users?
tricky. I will say I will lean slightly to Xbox because you think a lot of tournaments are, at least the finals, are on Xbox. My series, Compete Forever, we have an Xbox and a PS5 side, but all the championships are played on Xbox. The player pool is just larger in Xbox, just to be honest with you, and really just transparent here, Xbox.
Okay. There it is. Now, who was your favorite in this one? Who'd you pick?
I'm going to go ahead and pat my back like Barry Horowitz, the old wrestler. I took that guy, DJ, because I know what I'm talking about, Tiffany Green.
You've been there. You've done that. You've seen it up close and personal. First time witnessing that guy, DJ, up 30-7, and just about 90 seconds or less away from winning another HBCU championship. Again, they were playing for $10,000, chairs, hats, jackets, controllers.
And you look at that guy, DJ. Here's a guy that's won money throughout the year. He won in D.C., won a couple of HBCU tournaments, won the Discover Bowl back in December. Here's a guy that is literally, if there's an HBCU tournament and it's Madden, he's won it. So this guy is the man to beat when it comes to Madden and historical black colleges and universities.
And what beauty it is for all of them to come together to be able to play in a tournament like this. And this is what we want to see continued moving forward. This is just the beginning.
It is.
Right? We're in on the ground floor of this HBCU Madden tournament, and the way that, the NFL and their partners have all chipped in to really make this a first-class experience has been great.
And a real initiative by the National Football League, the NFL. You look at Jamil Giddens and Aaron and some other people, of course with our partners production with GCN, doing a great job collaborating and coming together and putting together first-class events. This is something that will continue to grow. We're going to continue to build on it. And like I said, there will be other events and initiatives in the future in a partnership between the NFL and HBCU.
Final minute of this tournament for Rocco Tuff. Gets it away. It's complete some more. He's got some room to work. Yeah.
The animation in Madden, you got to love it. It was complete. Rondell, what is it? Moore.
Rondell Moore.
Rondell Moore, exactly.
And if you're Rocco Tuff, you just want to see it put in the end zone again if you can help it, just for your sake, right? Like 10 seconds remaining, and Rocco Tuff can still get another touchdown in this game.
Good throw there to Hopkins on the sideline, inside the 15. So 10 seconds left, at least a couple more plays, a couple more shots at the end zone here for the guy on the right-hand side. Rodney Mckay Jr., a.k.a. Rocco Tuff from Virginia Union University. Going to come up short in this one, but a heck of an experience for him to finish this thing out and finish out strong.
Murray scrambling, throws it away. 5 seconds remaining, but still the
Four
Panthers.
Picks for Kyler Murray, by the way. We shorted him.
Four. Yeah. Ouch. Ouch. Still making him proud in Richmond, Virginia, for all those who are Virginia Union University students and grads. Your boy Rocco Tuff put up a fight.
And it's a great word that you use. That is the word that we use in Madden. Just show some fight. And right now he is showing some fight. Oh, boy. Oh, tip! And it's caught.
And that's ball game.
Was almost
it does it. Everybody's clapping inside the NFL West offices as that guy DJ remains the king of this HBCU Madden tournament 22, and Eric Miner representing once again for Claflin University out of Orangeburg, South Carolina. Go Panthers.
Absolutely. You know the song, we heard it from, you look at some of these rappers and things of that nature. Lil Wayne, he had that song, remember it was called Go DJ. That's my DJ.
It's a wrap. There you have it. And guess what? The champ is here, standing right next to us. And Mr. Eric Miner Jr., a.k.a. That Guy DJ, repeating as champion of this HBCU Madden Challenge. How does it feel to be named champion yet again?
It feels great to be the two-time champion. I've been putting a lot of work in, practicing every day. I'm trying to represent my school, so it feels good to do it again.
Putting on for Claflin University, just a small school in Orangeburg, South Carolina. You think folks gonna know their name a little bit more after today?
They definitely should now. I mean, I think I'm the best Madden player in South Carolina, and it's at Claflin, so they got to know now after this. So, yes, ma'am.
Minor setback for a major comeback. Second straight year that you've won here. What was the difference this year? You won it last year, Super Bowl 55, going into Super Bowl 56 here, being here live in L.A. Just talk about the experience and the difference between the two championships. It's like Tom Brady, right? First one, the next one, whatever. The next one's your favorite championship, right?
Yeah, going from last year to this year. This year, it's great because they flew us out to L.A. to go to the Super Bowl, be able to meet all these NFL, I guess, executives, officers, workers, and I'm trying to reel it all in right now. I'm just feeling good to be out here, blessed and thankful to have the opportunity.
Got 2 Super Bowl tickets or 1?
Just one.
Oh.
Just one.
See,
Just one.
you
Just
thought
one.
he was the plug.
Just
You
one.
thought he was the plug
No,
real quick.
no,
Okay,
no.
I'm curious to know, how did you limit the distractions, right? Because you have to come in focused, but you have so much going on around you with, the treatment that you're getting. It's top notch. It's first class. So how did you focus in on this game?
Like you said, I had great treatment when I came in here. I just tried to remember why I came here. So as soon as I got in here, I sat down, put my headphones in, listened to some music, locked in. I came here for one, it's a business trip. So I had to stay locked in.
Now, you are the Madden HBCU king right now, the top champ. Every HBCU tournament that you've entered, you've won. How much did that give you confidence going into this HBCU tournament championship?
Definitely a lot of confidence. Like I said, I feel like I'm the best HBCU Madden player. So I came in here with that mentality. I don't want to hold back on anybody. I want to come in full throttle, full. How's the saying go? Pedal to the metal.
Pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
Full throttle. Yeah.
So I didn't want to take it easy on anybody at all.
Well, look, that's just the HBCU side. You have loftier goals. There's the MCS. A young African-American just won the MCS championship. Henry won 2 this year. So one guy played in my league, John Beast, as well. He's Afro-Latino. So there are some opportunities out there for you.
Yeah.
You see some other chances out there and some other fish out there you want to sort of catch?
Most definitely. I definitely want to try to move on to the MCS. I want to keep doing this as much as long as possible as well. But I definitely want to try to get to venture into the MCS tournament soon. I'm going to get my name out there as well.
That's where the millions of dollars come in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Keep making that money, man.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep making it.
Don't let the money make you, though.
But when we go back to the game, was there a turning point in your mind that really helped to seal the deal for you and make you feel like you were confident to bring home another championship?
Yeah, so when he missed that field goal right before half, and then I got the pick 6 out of half, I thought, he's nervous. I got the game in the bag type. So I thought that was the turning point in the game for me. Yes, ma'am.
One question before we get out of here. You look at it, what do you have to say? What is your message to other HBCU students out there that might be watching this? Folks, this is real, and how they could be in your position right here and what they might have to go through.
First thing is work hard. Always look out for any type of info or on any Madden events, HBCU events. Work hard, practice a lot. But you be on the lookout for any type of event you might see on the internet. That's all I got to say.
All right, here's the deal. Eric, we're not done yet.
Nope.
Right? Because you have to be crowned a champion, right? So you need a little something to go along with it. When you walk around these NFL offices and maybe when you go to the Super Bowl, you can let them know. You can let them know. So Jamil Gittens of the NFL coming
Let's get
to
Jamil
allow
in
you
here.
to don that wonderful starter jacket.
Yes, sir.
That's fresh. I like it.
Yes,
I
sir.
like it. You've been
James
like
Brown,
a
I feel
king
good,
right
man.
Now, like a king right now. This has got to feel good.
Yeah, it feels great. I feel like I'm on top of the world right now. So I'm trying to reel it all in. So yes, ma'am.
Look,
congratulations.
$10,000 richer. I've seen all the tournaments that you won. Not counting your money, not in your pockets, but I know what you got right over there. What are you going to do with the $10K?
Probably just pocket it, put it in my savings, save it, because I'm gonna graduate. I'm gonna graduate, so I know I need to have money after graduation. You never know where I might end up at for a job, so I gotta have money for an apartment or something like that if I gotta move out.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Mom and Dad taught him well. Claflin teaching him well also. And look, he's out here. He's schmoozing. He is rubbing elbows with some really important people. And so you very well may be meeting your next employer, your coworker.
Hopefully.
You never know.
It's like a job interview, man, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully that can happen.
Right, good stuff. Congratulations to Eric Miner, Claflin University, played with the Packers, back-to-back championships for the HBCU Tournament Championship, Madden 22. Tiffany, before we get out here, any final thoughts, man, here in L.A., literally a stone's throw away from SoFi Stadium here, NFL West offices in Inglewood, right outside of Los Angeles. It's been a great atmosphere, a great tournament, great host here by the NFL.
Absolutely, and I think it's a rich experience for these HBCU students who got a chance to come out here and experience this and be exposed to something that they may not have had the opportunity to do so, but also now you see the initiatives that are on the ground that can grow, that can expand from the NFL and GCN and its other partners to help young men and young women, but young men and specifically like Eric Miner Jr.
Go DJ, that's my DJ, according to a lot of the rap dogs out there, man. And, he's my DJ right now, but congratulations to you. Hopefully we'll see you next year, Super Bowl 57, Glendale, Arizona, right outside of Phoenix, so we'll see about that.
I hope to be there with you, man.
I hope to be there with you, too, as well. So for Tiffany Green, ESPN sideline reporter and anchor and host there for ESPN, I'm Larry Ridley, CBS Sports, Madden, NFL, NBA 2K League. Good to be here. Once again, congratulations to this young man, Eric Miner, Claflin University, played with the Packers, won 30-7 today, back-to-back championships, Madden 22 HBCU Tournament Championships. Thanks for everyone watching. Let's get out of here. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Make it a good one, folks. Congratulations to Eric Claflin.
We out.
See you soon.